Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Come closer. Have you ever had plantain porridge with shelled periwinkle before? This recipe is very tasty, healthy, and has lots of nutritional values. You will definitely love it. Come, let me show you how to prepare this. For the list of ingredients, we'll be needing some unripe plantain, fresh tomatoes. I have some Scotch bonnet pepper and a bulb of onion. All these are very important in making this recipe come out very tasty and yummy. I have some crayfish. I'm going to be pounding that. If you have a blender, you can use your blender. And this is the periwinkle, and for the periwinkle I cut off the tail. That is why it looks like this. So I washed thoroughly to get rid of the sand and dirt in it. Since we are adding the shell with the periwinkle, you have to wash thoroughly until the water starts running clear, like very clean. So I have some sardine fish and some dry fish over here. I don't know what that other fish is called, but it is very common here in River State. And I have some dried catfish as well. To make plantain porridge, you'll be needing some palm oil, and you just use as much quantity that will be needed to match up your ingredients, right? So I have some scent leaf, which is very important for me. Scent leaf is medicinal, so do well to always add it to your meal, okay? And lastly, we have some pumpkin leaf or ugu leaf, as is popularly known here in Nigeria. Now to the plantain, I am going to start by cutting off the head and the bottom of it. I always like soaking the plantain in water when I am cutting it or peeling it, because it helps the plantain not to stick to the palm too much. And if you also want to avoid it to sticking to your palm entirely, you can just rub vegetable oil on your palm and it will not stick to your palm at all. And for this recipe, I am using unripe plantain. If you have ripe plantain, you can use it as well, but I think it comes out better with unripe plantain than ripe plantain. If you're new to this channel, you are welcome. Please do well to hit the subscribe button and also turn on the bell icon so that you'll be the first to know whenever I upload a new video. And to my returning subscribers, thank you for always tuning in, for always coming back. Now that I'm done peeling off the skin of the plantain, let me show you how I slice my plantain. I will take one of the plantain, cut it into 4 just like this. You're seeing it, and I'll start dicing it. This helps the plantain cook faster and also helps it have lots of porridge. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but just keep watching. At the end of this video, you understand what I mean. But if you don't like cutting your plantain like this or slicing it like this, you can also cut it at your preference, just the way you like cutting yours. I'm going to keep dicing until I exhaust all of the plantain that I have. After that, I'm going to set it aside, and next is to slice the fresh tomatoes. So now I like using fresh tomatoes when making plantain porridge because of the unique taste it gives to the plantain. But if you do not like fresh tomatoes in your plantain porridge, you can as well skip it. So I'm going to slice it like this in stripes before going ahead to dice it as well. After that, I'm going to set the tomatoes aside. I am using just 1 bulb of onion. You can use more or less depending on how you like onions in your meal. And hey, let me know where you're watching from so I can send you a virtual hug in my next video, okay? So after slicing the onions, I'm going to set it aside as well. Now that the tomato and onions are prepped, let's dive into the cooking process. In a pot, I'm going to add some palm oil, just enough palm oil to cook this recipe. I'll allow it to heat up a little before going in with some onions. I allow these onions to fry for 3 minutes before going in with the fresh tomatoes. As soon as I added the fresh tomatoes, I stirred to combine and allowed this tomato to fry for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I added the blended pepper and crayfish. I added some pepper, dried pepper as well, and added seasoning cube. Added a little bit of salt as well, then gave it a very good stir to combine. I allowed this to fry for 3 more minutes before going in with all of the dry fish. After adding the dry fish, I stirred it a little, and after a minute, I just added the plantain that I diced earlier. When I was adding the plantain, I noticed that there was one that I did not slice earlier, and I removed it and used my spatula to just mix everything to combine. Once it is well combined, I'm going to go in with some water. So I added the first bowl of water and it was not enough for me. Then I added another bowl. The reason I'm using this quantity of water is because I want the plantain to cook very well and also have some porridge in it, if you understand what I mean. So after adding the water, I stirred it very well to combine again, and I added the sardine fish. Let me know, do you like to cook your sardine fish before adding it into a pot of food, or do you just add it directly just like I did to mine? Let me know in the comment section. I'll be glad to hear your opinion. Next is to slice the vegetable. So like I said earlier, I'm using pumpkin leaf for this, and it is commonly used when making porridge. Anything porridge, whether it's porridge plantain or porridge yam. You can also use green leaf or any vegetable of choice. After cutting this, I'm going to set it aside. Next is the scent leaf. Like I said earlier, scent leaf is medicinal and it has lots of benefits. So if you don't use scent leaf when making some of your meal, you just need to start adding it, and I promise you, you will love it. After slicing the scent leaf, I'm going to set it aside, and now back to the pot. This is after 20 minutes of cooking. I'm going to add the periwinkle into the pot. Once I'm done adding it, I'm going to give it a very good stir, and while I was about to stir, I noticed I remembered that I've not removed the sardine fish. If I don't remove it, it's going to break. So that is the reason why I'm removing it from the pot. After removing it, I'm going to stir properly to combine so that the periwinkle will go down into the pot and cook very well as well. I added the scent leaf as well, and like I said earlier, the scent leaf is not just an ordinary vegetable, so I added it, gave it a very good stir, and allowed it to cook for 10 minutes so that it releases some of those yummy flavor into the pot. Now I'm going to cover it and allow it to cook for 10 minutes. Periwinkle doesn't take much time to get cooked, so after 10 minutes I opened and added the pumpkin leaf into the pot. After adding it, I'm going to give this a very good stir to combine, and once it is properly combined, after a minute I turned off the heat so that the vegetable does not overcook or get dark. And that is it, guys. Our plantain with shelled periwinkle porridge is ready to serve. Guys, this was so delicious, tasty, yummy, name it. Added back the sardine fish that I removed earlier, and that is it, guys. Our plantain and shelled periwinkle porridge is ready. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, share, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. Thank you very much for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.